Alright, and you've brand new user to Mac, system settings, training session number 3. So let's dive right into system preferences. We're going to do the system settings, and then we're going to go into some of the applications that come stock with the Mac. Accounts. We've got admin accounts. So unlike Windows, you have you're allowed to do everything on this computer. If you're the admin, there's no "are you sure, are you sure" going on. Sometimes you have to put your password in to download things, or for example here, it's going to ask me to put my password in if I want to make some changes. And of course you can change that setting yourself. And this is good to have so that it's got your little me here as your address book. Here's where you go to change your password and to link up your mobile me name. This brings you back into mobile me. We looked at that in session number 2. Go back into accounts, and that's really all it is. Of course, if you want to actually add an account, you would just put your admin password in. Now see, it's unlocked, and then you would just add a user. Standard, you can make them administrator or whichever one you would like. Again, be careful of this file vault. It really eats up the hard drive space. And I'm not going to actually add a user, and I'm just going to lock that back up so nobody else can add user accounts. And date and time. Pretty simple. We have the right, got Americas, right? Not Asia, not Europe. And it knows what time it is, time zone. We've got, so to change it, you go like this, so you've got the little bar there. You don't want white horse. I think we've changed that a little bit. Whoops. Uh-oh. Vancouver, there we go. And of course you can have this change depending on your current location, which, while sounds great, possibly could mess up some of your settings, and the time you receive things is all dependent on the system time. So you may or may not want to turn that on. Clock, whether you want to have an analog clock, see here, it's got a little analog clock, digital, and AM, PM, use 24-hour. Personally, I like the AM, PM. I like to have the day of the week, and we've got here Friday, July 9th, which actually I think I might keep. Although here you can see that it's the 9th right here. If you just sort of look down at the calendar, this does actually keep up. So this isn't all that necessary, it just makes this status menu a little bit bigger. And parental controls. If you've got children that are going to be using this computer, you've set up a new account for them and you want to turn on the parental controls for that user account, this is where you would do it. Software update. Always good to make sure that you check often for software updates. And it shows down here because it does it in the background. Speech. So the system voice, you can have male, female, and there's a bunch of different choices. I like Alex personally. Speech recognition, internal microphone, and startup disk. Of course, I have a couple of different disks. I have installed Windows on my boot camp partition. That's why we have 2 here, but you definitely want to have that as the Macintosh hard drive. Time Machine. Time Machine is great. Time Machine works with a time capsule, and it backs up your hard drive and all your documents. So on, off, select the disk, options. Now I've got this all set up and it shows right here. And it backs it up all the time. It's on a schedule a couple of times a day. Very, very good, very good. And so when you go into the backup, so you go here and you can enter the time machine. And this is really cool. This will show you why it's called Time Machine. It takes a minute to connect to the server. Backup volume here. So you can see here, I hope, you can go back as far as you've been backing up. And you can go back and look your documents. Just thinking here, loading all the documents. And you can step back in time. You see the time here? So we've backed up a number of times during the day. Today, still on today, a couple of times. So you could just jump right back to June 30th. Woo! That's why it's called Time Machine. We're going back, looking at our documents. This is quite a bit different. I reorganized my files the other day, so this has got lots of different files right here. And to get out without restoring a file, for example, I know I deleted these. If I wanted to restore this, I could. And now that deleted file has come back into here. And let's go back. Universal access. Universal access is if you need to change the settings so that it's easier to see, enhance the contrast, voiceover for seeing, hearing, flash the screen when an alert sound occurs, play stereo audio as mono so that it works with hearing aids much better, keyboard, mouse and trackpad. So we have different settings so that we can make the computer easier to use for those with disabilities. And this is an extra setting for a different system, and I'm not even sure. Certainly isn't stock to Mac. Alright, so let's get out of system preferences. So we're going to quit or Command Q